Hello my crochet friends, how are you guys doing today? So for anybody who's new here, hello, my name is Jenny. Welcome to Granny's Square Peg, where I crochet when I want, and I shop for yarn faster than I use it. So that's what today's video is. It's a yarn haul video. Do I have a place to put the yarn? No. Do I feel like I have too much yarn in my house already? Yes. Do I regret buying more yarn? No, because it has made me happy, because I finally figured out what I want to do with my days now that my kids are full-time occupied elsewhere, with moving out of the house, being in college full-time, having a full-time job, having a part-time job, having their own cars. What's a stay-at-home mom to do now? So I have figured out that I like crocheting. I don't just need it for my mental health. I actually like it. I enjoy it. What I enjoy most is sitting down with my hook and just making my own things without following a pattern in a book, in a pamphlet, in a leaflet, in a PDF, from the internet. Anywhere you can find patterns, well, I can work from them and I don't mind it. I actually prefer just sitting with my hook and doing my own thing. And yeah, because I'm a creative person, okay? Come to my house, you'll see stuff for journaling, but do I journal? No. Do I want to journal? I want to be a journal person. I do. And the pretty journals, not just the ones where it's Dear Diary. I want to do that. Do I have the supplies? Yes. Do I do it? No. Reading books is my first love. Crocheting is my second love. Crocheting is what I want to do. So that means buying yarn, but it also means going through the yarn that I have. So unfortunately, I do have some yarn, or fortunately. Anyway, do you remember my last video? I showed you yarn that I bought at the thrift store, and I feel like I controlled myself really well, because the one color, they had like 9 skeins of it in the store, and I only bought 4. And I did so good. And they had 6 skeins of a variegated color, and I only bought 3. Now, I did use the blue, the sparkly blue one. I did make a blanket, so that'll be in a different video. The variegated color, I started making patchwork squares out of it, realized I grabbed the wrong size hook, so I have to frog those and find the right size hook. So, I have more yarn, and it started off with, just a couple days later, I was at the thrift store again. But this time with my husband. He likes to walk through the electronic section, okay? He likes to look at like vintage electronics, and it's just his favorite part of the thrift store. And he gets very relaxed when he's in there. So I went to the thrift store with him, and I said, do you not mind if we go walk over to the section where they keep the yarn? It's in the blankets, the sheets, and the towel section. He's like, yeah, sure, why not? So we walked over there, and from before I even got to the bin that they keep the yarn in at the thrift store, I saw it. A mile away, I saw it. Red Heart Super Saver. In this color called Reef. Now, I don't know if they make this color anymore. You know what? I should check the internet. The color Reef. They wanted $2.99 a piece for them. There were 6 on the shelf, my friends. I bought all 6. I know, that's only 2. Hold on. 3. 4. 5. 6. That's still only 5. I can't get the 6th one to sit on top. Hold on. There we go. Anyway, I bought all 6 of them because I have a project in mind for this. Many years ago, Red Heart made a color called Peruvian print, and I had actually made a blanket with the Peruvian print for my husband. Like, he's over 6 feet, so when he pulls the blanket up, his feet come out at the bottom, then his feet are cold. He pulls the blanket down to cover his feet, then it comes off of his shoulders, and his shoulders are cold. So I used the Peruvian print, which is browns and blues, white with black spots. It's a beautiful color, but no sooner did Red Heart make the color that they discontinued it, right? And I think it was before Red Heart was even sold to Yarn Inspirations, I think. So when it was still Coats and Clark here in the U.S. It's an awesome color. So I made the blanket for him, and it took me 18 skeins. 19 skeins? I don't know. I have to pull the blanket out and show it to you because it's gorgeous. So it does cover him from over his head all the way down to his feet. So his feet can be tucked in, his shoulders can be tucked in. And I wanted to make a second one with a color similar, and reef is the color I settled on. Now I do have some of this in my stash. I had like 4 or 5 skeins of it, but now I've got 6 more. So I do have a plan for this. Okay, so I'm thankful that I found it at the thrift store. But is my yarn stash a little bigger than it should be? Probably. I mean, I live in a small house and I'm all tangled up in yarn. Hold on. Where did it go? Okay, so let's put this color down. So I did find this at the thrift store. $2.99. Did I say $2.99? Yeah. All right, let me put these back on the floor. So, not long after I bought the colored reef at the thrift store, I had gone to visit my mom. It's been a couple months since I've been there. So my husband and I went on a Sunday to visit, and my mom had some Big Twist Value in this pink ombre color, and she had 2 skeins, plus this one's partially used. I figure it's only half, maybe a little more than half. So she gave these to me because I have more of this in my own stash. I'm currently in the middle of a project with this. Christmas in July, but in pink color. So I needed some more. So she gave me what she had. Okay. I love the Big Twist Value. It was from Joann's. So, you know, I do miss walking around at Joann's when I needed just a yarn fix, just to look at yarn without buying any yarn. So I didn't pay anything for that. Mom gave it to me free of charge. Okay, so I did check my computer. Red Heart Super Saver, it is listed on the website in the color Reef, but it's listed as out of stock. So it's like, I never see it anywhere anyway. And since Joann's closed down, Michaels doesn't have a big selection of Red Heart Super Saver. My Michaels has a very small yarn section, and the Red Heart section is even smaller. It's just your basic colors that they have in there. So, speaking of Michaels, so a couple days after I went and saw my mom, I went out to Michaels because I wanted to see if my Michaels had expanded their yarn section yet, and they have not. And while they do now have fabric there, they don't actually have anybody to cut the fabric off the bolt for you yet. So I think my Michaels is still trying to figure it out. So, I found some more Big Twist Value at Michaels. They still have some that they're selling when Joann's went out of business. I got... Okay, so at Michael's, I found some Big Twist Value in this, what do they call it? Speckle Brights. Now, I already have 1 skein of this in my stash. I want to say I have at least 2 because I really do like this color. I don't have a plan for it yet, but I just want to add it to the other skeins that I have. And, you know, it wasn't on sale or anything. I did pay full price at $4.49 for it. So I picked up 4 skeins of Big Twist Value in the Speckles, in Happy Rainbow, which I have more of this on my shelf. This is in my Patchwork Squares blanket when I get around to putting that one together. And then I have 3 skeins of Unicorn Magic. Now this, I never did get any of this before Joann's went out of business and they closed down. So when I saw it at Michael's, I'm like, let me pick that up because I don't actually have this color in my stash. Unicorn Magic. I got 3 of them. I'm happy with that. Alright, so Michael's, when I did this was, so all this yarn shopping has been late May and early June, okay? And it's only because I finally figured out what I want to do. And I'm so sorry for the lighting, okay? I have a light on here at my computer. But I have a light on behind me. I've got a light on up there. But every time I move out of frame, it gets dark. So I'm so sorry for that. Oh, I forgot. You know what? I also bought some cotton when I was at Michael's that day. And I've already used it. So yay for me for using what I buy, right? Just your standard, it's loosened threads, it's classic cotton, it's the same as Lily Sugar and Cream and Peaches and Cream. Okay, I bought 4 little skeins of it. Now there's my yarn labels, okay, because I already used it. I bought 3 of them. $2.99 a piece, okay, in the color confetti. This is the confetti color. It's like a light tan with some red, some blue, some purple running through it. And what I did was, I already made this and this. Alright, I want to say that they're like dish towels or hand towels, but they're a bit smaller than hand towels and dish towels in your kitchen and in your bathroom, but they're a bit bigger than a washcloth. But here's what I was basing it off of. You know, my youngest is in culinary college. They're doing baking and pastry arts, and then they're doubling their major in hospitality. Well, part of their tuition pays for the tools and equipment that they need in the kitchen. Like, they got a whole knife set, measuring cups, measuring spoons, their uniform with their aprons or chef jackets, their chef hats, you know. They also got kitchen towels, okay? So they don't call them hand towels. They don't call them dish towels. They call them kitchen towels. So my kid has like 20 of these, and you can see how dirty this is from wiping down their countertops, because they have stainless steel countertops. So that's what that is. That's the stainless steel. It's staining the towel. So the towel, when you measure it, is 15 inches wide and 14¼ inches tall. It's almost square. So I wanted to make kitchen towels for my kid. They weren't all white, you know. My kid's white's not their favorite color. So it's only for when they're at home, because they like to use their kitchen towels here at home and not just in school. So that's what this is. It's a kitchen towel made with the classic cotton, right? I almost got it in a perfect size. Okay, I did a chain of 43. Almost. But lengthwise, yeah, I'm spot on. It's just the width. I just couldn't quite get the width. But almost. So I made 2. I got one that came out a little wider than the other one. And then one came out a little narrower. Yeah. My tension is never consistent. But almost. So, like, these are my samples. Okay, I know this. I said this was a yarn haul video. Just bear with me. I still got more yarn to show you. But, so what I want to do is I want to use these in the kitchen, okay? I want my kid to use them in the kitchen and see how they hold up with being used, with being wet and then dry, wet and dry, using it on your hands, using it on the countertop, using it on your tools to dry them off, you know, and then washing and drying them. I want to see how well they hold up. So this is my sample size before I decide I want to go make everything in cotton. Now, did I buy some more cotton a couple days later? I did, but it's only because I want more samples to check out and see how they work in my kitchen. So if this all works out, then I will give you guys a pattern for it. But I mean, there's a million patterns for hand towels and washcloths you made with what I call this kitchen cotton, because it's not cotton that you would make into a shirt and wear it or a sweater. It's kitchen cotton. So I already used up the 3 skeins. I used 1.5 skeins on the first one, 1.5 on the second one, and I wound up with just a very little left over. So it's based off of my kids' kitchen towels. So I already used that, and I'm happy with that. Okay, yes, we did that. So that same day when I was at Michael's, I have to drive past all the thrift stores in order to get to Michael's, right? I figured I'd stop in and see if they had any more of that Red Heart Super Saver in the color Reef. So I stopped at that same thrift store just a couple days later to see if there was any possibility that they had any more. Well, they didn't, but they did have loops and threads in their Soft Classic, which is just their 100% acrylic yarn in this very pastel baby color. Yeah, they call it Rockabye. So it's a very pastel baby color. But they did have this on the shelf. And it was only 1 skein. And they were asking $3.99 for it. Which is fine. Because I also came home with a stack of books. Because I always go to the thrift store for books. And it's a full skein. Because I did weigh it on my scale. So it says it's 5 ounces. And my scale says 5.4 ounces. So I'm just going to add that to my stash. To use in my Patchwork Squares blankets. Because I plan on making more than one. Because it's my favorite thing to make. So, there we go. Another skein of yarn for my collection. And on that same day, after I'd gone to Michael's, after I'd gone to the thrift store, I went to Premier.com to see what kind of cotton they had and to see what kind of yarn they had. And I gotta tell you, I did get some yarn from them, and I absolutely love it. So let me pause here for a minute. I gotta do a thing with my camera, and I'll be right back. So when I went to Premier.com, I liked the Premier. They have a variegated color that I really liked. It's one of their Christmas colors, mistletoe or something, where it's red, white, and green. I bought that a couple years ago, and I was putting it into a blanket. And I really like just their basic acrylic yarn, number 4 medium weight. So, but when I was at their website, I was really looking at these cotton cakes that they came out with just recently, within the last year or so. It's called Premier Cotton Sprout. And it's in a cake, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It is a number 2 fine. Recommended size hook is a B. I mean, that's got to be down like, I don't even know what that is in millimeters. 2.25 millimeters, says so right there on the label. So there we go. The number 2, 2.5 millimeter hook. I paid $8.87 for it. And what this is their sale price. They were on sale for $7.20, I want to say, for the cake. And the cake is, how many ounces is the cake? 7 ounces for the cake, okay? So it was on sale compared to like Hirschner's that had it for $9.99. So $7.20. And like that other $1.50 I put in there for it, that's the shipping cost. It costs $9.99 for my whole package to be shipped. So I take that $9.99 and I divide it by the 6 balls or 6 cakes or 6 skeins of yarn, and I average that out. So it cost me about $1.50 for each one to be shipped. So that's what that cost is. So that's not what its normal price is. I got it for $7 on sale from $9.99, and I had to add in the shipping. Shipping is not free for any of us. We always have to pay for shipping. So 847 yards, 800 meters, 7 ounces, or 200 grams. So for this one, the color is purple stripes, right? So purple's the main color. And then they did rainbow. So you start with the purple, and then for the rainbow, it goes to pink, and then orange, and then yellow, and then green, then blue, and then a lighter shade of purple. There is a second shade of purple right in there, right? And I love this. And I can see making this up into a blanket, like my Karen Cakes blanket, because my Karen Cakes blanket, I wrote the pattern to handle long striping color changes. And I absolutely adore this. So I bought the purple cake. I also bought, you call it cornflower? The cornflower blue. So the blue is the main color, and then it does this rainbow on the inside. Again, they don't do red, they do pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, and so a different shade of blue. Green, blue, 2 different shades of blue. Pink, orange, yellow, green. Oh, 2 different shades of blue. Like this blue in the middle is like half blue, half green. And this is more of a aqua color. But yeah, I absolutely adore this. And I think Premier needs to come out with a green cake version with green as the main color, because they don't have one. And then they need to have the other colors. They need to have yellow as the main color, orange as the main color, and then red as they do have a red one. They do have red with the main color but it's too dark. And they had the blue, a dark navy blue as the main color, but it's too dark. They really need to do the pastel versions. But these cakes are beautiful. They're gorgeous. They're soft, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it to make a stripy blanket out of it. And I'm looking forward to working with this kind of cotton that's very thin and meant for blankets or, sweaters, so you can wear it and have it against your skin and not the scratchy kitchen cotton. So, yeah, I bought the purple. Yeah, I bought the cornflower blue. And then I bought the cream. Look at this. Yeah, it's got this creamy yellow color. It's creamy white, creamy yellow. I love this. Is my favorite color ever. And then look how well that rainbow striping looks in there. Oh, it's phenomenal. I love it. Now this one, yeah, I would love to see it in a blanket, but the blue and the purple would be great in a blanket. But this, I think, would be great in a sweater. Do I know the first thing about crocheting sweaters? No, I do not. I bought this one just for its looks alone, so it can sit here at my desk and keep me company and just look pretty. Sit on my shelf and look pretty. I love this. So Premier has made a beautiful cotton cake that they call Sprout, cotton sprout stripes. And I love it. I love it. So to round out my order a little bit, so I wasn't just paying $9.99 for 3 cakes of yarn, because that would be $3 a piece to ship them, right? I added some more into my cart, and they had cotton sprout DK in these cute little donut cakes. Now, I've never used anything from a yarn in this shape, in this donut shape, because there's a hole in the middle, because that's where the yarn label goes. So I'm assuming it's like a donut, but for this color, more like a bagel. But it's called Cotton Sprout DK, so, you know, it's a number 3 light or DK weight. Still 100% cotton, 230 yards, 210 meters, 3.5 ounces, or 100 grams. I cannot see what the recommended hook size is because I don't have my reading glasses on, but this is the creamy white color. I love this. Okay, I love the number 3. I love how soft it is. This is perfect for a blanket. So then I also bought it in their lime green color. Isn't that awesome? Oh, and then I bought it in their purple color, which this one is called Orchid, because I think they have a darker purple called Grape. So this is Orchid. And what I would like to do, I would like to put these into a blanket. I want to get the other colors because I'm making all 3 of my kids blankets this year. So my youngest is already done. I made, it's single crochet blanket. Number 4, medium worsted weight yarn, whatever I had in my stash. And then I did go out to the store and get some colors for it because I made it in the colors of my kids' hoodies. You know, the kid wears dark green, dark blue, brown, black on their hoodies. So I made a blanket in the colors of their hoodies. So this one I'm thinking for my middle child, my 21-year-old daughter, who is very girly and very feminine and very tiny. And I would love to make her a blanket in these colors, but some of the other colors that they had, because this cotton is very soft and it just reminds me of my daughter. So I would like to get more of these colors from Cotton Sprout from Premier and make her a blanket for her bed. She loves green, she loves purple, she loves pink, but they do have to be certain shades and certain tones. So I'm hoping that she'll like this. I haven't shown this to her yet, but I'm hoping that she'll like this, and I'd like to pick up some more. So I did some shopping at Premier.com, and I made sure that my shipping at $9.99, I don't consider the shipping too bad for $9.99. You just got to make sure you got enough in your cart that balances out the cost of shipping. So I got some cotton, and they're supposed to be for blankets and not for kitchen stuff. Let me cross that out off my list. I wrote a list of all the shopping I've been doing so I can get it all in order for you. The dates, the stores, what I've got, and how much it cost me. So we can add all this up at the end if you want. Alright, so I did have a day where I went to Walmart. Now I don't buy yarn at Walmart until just recently. My Walmart, their yarn section has always been very small. It's been very dirty. It's been very unorganized. It has not been a pleasant place to pick up yarn over the years. That aisle was always a mess because it's where those doors are that go into the back of the store. That's more like their warehouse where they store things. So there's a lot of traffic coming in and out of those doors. In the last year or so, I want to say, they moved their yarn aisle 1 aisle over. So now it's not as damaged as it was. It's not as dirty. It's not as unorganized. And, you know, Walmart's got really good prices on everything. I was actually shopping for household stuff, a new clothes basket, some new bath towels, set of sheets for my bed, you know. So I was picking up normal household stuff, and I'm like, well, let me go check out, because I knew that they had moved their yarn aisle. I was like, let me go check it out, see if it's any better. And it was, and I picked up some more cotton so I can test other cottons. So I got Peaches and Cream, which I haven't had this stuff in my hands in years, but it feels just like kitchen cotton. Peaches and Cream. And it's really pretty pastel variegated color. I mean, these are tiny little skeins. They're 2-ounce skeins. And let's see, I paid $2.58. So the same size skeins over at Michael's are $2.99 in their loops and threads classic cotton. But Peaches and Cream at Walmart is $2.58. So 40 cents less. They call it some kind of lavender color. But yeah, it's pretty. So I did buy 3 of them. So I can, again, make kitchen towels and test out the cotton and see how well it holds up. Can it handle washing and drying and in the washer, in the dryer. And then see how it handles wiping down countertops and drying our hands and stuff like that. So I've got 3 more, and I wanna get Lily Sugar and Cream, but when I went to their website, every color they had was sold out, because Lily Sugar and Cream is the go-to kitchen cotton anymore. But Walmart didn't have any. My Michaels does not sell Lily at all. So I went to their website and every color sold out, sold out, sold out, out of stock, out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. And I'm like, wow, okay, everybody's using Lily Sugar and Cream. So if you guys know a better place where I can pick it up, please let me know. All right, so just put that in my little yarn pile behind the camera. Alright, my last set of yarn. I actually just picked this up. Today's the 16th of June. I just picked this up yesterday at Michael's. I had to get out of the house. I drive myself crazy being in the house all the time. I have to remember to get out of the house, get some fresh air, get some sunlight, and just be outside. Did I drive to Michael's and go walk through the yarn section? Yes, I did. Because my Michael's is getting better. They're keeping the shelves stocked better now. But the section is still not as big as it was in Joann's. And still not as big as it was in AC Moore. And I do have other Michael's stores in my area. I'm using the one in Langhorne, right around the corner from Sesame Place. Okay, that's the one I go to all the time. I know there's one in Feasterville I can go to that's bigger, and I know there's one even further up Street Road, closer to Huntington Valley. I know that is bigger. I know there's one that's over by Abington Hospital, which is the turnpike, and I'd have to pay tolls. So, I mean, there are ones I can go to that are within 45 minutes of my house, because I really try to keep anything 45 minutes or less, right? Anyway, all that to say is I wish my Michael's was a little bigger and had a little bit more stock. But for now, they're okay. So I did get 3 more balls of their Loops and Threads classic cotton in this blue color. Everybody has this blue color. I know Lily Sugar and Cream has it. What color do they call it on their label? Baby blue ombre. Yeah, I did get 3 of those. Because when I was working on these little kitchen towels, they work up very quickly for me. I do a half double crochet with my initial chain of 43, and I did about, I want to say 50 rows. Do I have a... No, that's for a hat. I was working on a hat too. I'll show you guys my desk when I'm done. Huh. Yeah, I don't remember how many rows I did for it. So I plan on making more because I want to see how it handles being in a real life kitchen and not just making it up and just leaving it sit around. I want to see how it works. Alright, and then this was a complete impulse purchase. I was walking to the checkout. I love these Karen cupcakes. I love them. This is their cotton cupcake. I did have a couple of these a couple years ago, many years ago, and I didn't like the texture, so it's changed a little bit in the last 5 years or so. But I love this this pink, purple, yellow, peachy orange, very much like sunset or sunrise. It's a beautiful color. They call it Tutti Frutti, which but whatever. So it's no, it's not 100% cotton. Duh. 60% cotton and 40% acrylic, 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 194 meters, 212 yards. It is a number 4. So I bought this one and I paid $7 for this, for 3.5 ounces. I paid $7 for this, right? But I bought it because of the bandana pattern right there. Now, I know I could probably go to their website and get it, right? I know that, but I'm trying to limit my time on my screens, whether it's a phone or a tablet or the computer, okay? I'm trying to limit my time there. So if it's a printed pattern on a label, I'll buy it, okay? So I wanted it for the bandana, okay? My middle child, my daughter, she has a white lacy one that she wears, and I thought maybe I can make one for her. So I bought the Karen Cotton cupcakes, and I love it. It's so adorable, and it's another thing that where it's so beautiful. I'm just going to leave it sit on my desk so I can see how pretty it is every day. I love it. And then one last thing. I've been watching videos of, I'm trying to see what other people crochet to sell in a store or at fairs and markets that they go to. I'm seeing people crocheting scrunchies a lot, you know, ponytail holders. Now, see, my hair is loose today because I'm so frustrated. I like my ponytail holder to match the color of my shirt. I don't have any pink ponytail holders, and I like the scrunchy ones with the fabric because it doesn't pull my hair out, right? So I don't have any pink ones, and I always like them to match my shirts. So whenever I'm out at the store, the colors they're too bright, they're too dull, they're too neutral. None of them match my shirts. So I want to do what I see all these young girls in their 20s doing and crocheting scrunchies, right? So I know Michaels has, and they use velvet yarn, okay? Which is 100% polyester, and I like the feel of velvet yarn. I absolutely do. It's so soft and so silky, and I think there's a reason why all these younger girls, when they're crocheting, are using this velvet to crochet around a ponytail holder in elastic. So because I think it'll feel really nice in your hair. So I know Michaels has more of these colors. They just didn't have them in stock at my store. And the only thing they had was this dark, it's not too dark. They're calling it rainforest green, which my camera is not doing it justice there. Can you see? Oh, it's a beautiful color. It's giving me very much forest vibes, or being in the woods, or Christmas and pine trees. So is it the color I want? No, because I don't have any shirts that match this color. But it'll give me a chance to figure out how many stitches to go around, what if I want to do a double crochet or a treble crochet, and how many to get that ruffly look, and what size hook I want to use. So this is for me to practice and to test it out and see if it's something that I want to do, and find the pink color that would match my shirt so it would match my hair. I mean, match, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So I bought that so I can test a few things out. And that, my dear friends, is the last of this yarn haul. So, let me do some math and figure out how many balls of yarn I bought and how much I spent on all of it. I'll be right back. Okay, friends, so that was 3.5 weeks of shopping. Okay. Did I do it all in one day? No, but I did have a day on June 4th where I did 3 of them. You know, June 10th, June 15th, May 31st, May 26th. So it's 32 skeins of yarn that I bought. And out of the 32, I've used 3 of them. So I've still got 29 to go. I spent $126.88. Okay. I don't consider that too bad for 32 skeins of yarn. Yeah. I don't know. Good, bad, indifferent. Doesn't matter to me. Money's just money. So, I've always wanted to, with this channel, to do some crochet tutorials once I got through my project pile. And since I started my channel in what? When did I start my channel? 2022? Oh my goodness. It would have been January 2022. Has it been 4 years already? Alright, so, I knew that, like, my project pile was big, with projects that were partially started, halfway done, mostly done, like 99% done. I have, like, 80 plus blankets in my project pile, and it's ridiculous, and my goal was always to sell them, but when I go to sit down at the computer, I just totally freeze when it's time to type up a description and put in all the dimensions and figure out shipping, and do I want to ship to other countries? It's just so much. I'm not a business person. I'm a crochet person, and I'm a creative person, but, you know, I can keep creating, but then it just kind of piles up in my house, and at 1,200 square feet with 5 people, 2 cats, well, it was 5 people, now it's 4, with still 2 cats, which Bandit and Arlo say hello, they love you, they miss you. Bandit is sitting right here, looking right at us. Anyway, Arlo's floating around here too somewhere. in order to do crochet tutorials, you really do need to have your camera mounted above you and pointing down at a desk. It is the best way to do it. And I've never had space to do that. But since I realized what I want to do, and it's also for my kids. Like right now, my kids have no interest in crocheting, but maybe they will later on in life. But I don't know what my life expectancy is. Maybe I won't be here to show them. So partly these videos are for my kids so they can see the process of creating. I mean, I've got one kid that is very creative, so maybe they'll want to pick it up later. So it's also for them. So, you know, I would love to be able to do tutorials and show people what I know versus what I don't know. Because, I mean, as long as I've been crocheting 40 plus years, I don't know everything. I don't. So my desk used to sit in the middle of the room. A couple years ago, I had it up against the wall. I have since moved it back up against the wall. Okay, and I'll show that to you. And then I had bookcases along this wall. I have taken all the books down off the bookcases. I have moved all 3 bookcases. 2 of them I moved out of the house for now. They're in storage. The third one is sitting on the wall behind you. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. And there is a mess around. Okay, I know the mess is there. I don't need you to point it out to me. Or be mean about it. No meanness on this channel. None. Alright, you ready? Okay, so this is where my desk is right now. Okay, like this shelf over here has always been the router for internet and stuff, electronic stuff, okay, where you can plug things in. But my desk, you see how I've got my crochet project sitting on here right now? I can't do this all the time. This desk is the desk that I use to run my household. Okay, it's where I sit and pay the bills. It's where I use my Google Calendar to keep track of everybody's car maintenance and registration and inspection. It's where I do my grocery shopping to check prices and make sure I'm getting the best prices on everything. So I can't leave my crocheting sit here. I need a dedicated space for my crocheting. So with moving the bookcases off the wall, I now have this open spot here from the end of my desk to this bookcase. This is the 3rd bookcase. I did keep this in the house because I have plans to use it with the crochet stuff. So here's a lamp I just recently bought. My old lamp is not going to cut it. And that's the yarn we just went through. Okay, that right there is all my knickknacks that I keep on my desk, but I can't keep them there for right now. So I moved them out of the way. So I bought a desk to fit in this spot. It's from IKEA. It's this desk right here. It will just fit in there. And it's got 2 drawers to it. So I already have the desk. And if you'll excuse me for this, it's sitting right over there in the box. I have to take it out of the box and put it together. And this is all the stuff that I'm cleaning up. These are all blankets I've already done in my videos. I need to list them at Etsy. And then I can't show you my paper pile because there's personal information there. It's all the stuff from my desk. So I plan on putting a desk right there that is just for my crochet projects. Okay, for when I need to sit them out and measure them, when I need to write notes, and when I need to leave them out so I can keep working on them, because I can't, this is where I run my household from, okay? So I bought a desk to go in there. And then this is going to be for every crochet book I find, every pattern, every notebook I have with crocheting, my hooks, everything that I can find that goes along with crocheting will be put on this shelf right here. Right now it's got more of my office stuff for running the house sitting on there. It has office supplies and papers and journaling that I don't ever do. So I'm in the process of purging. Like that's all the stuff that was in and around my desk. I picked it up off my desk, cleaned it off, put it on the shelf. Piles of papers that I need to take care of because I never know what to do with papers. I'm using that to sort them so I can purge them so I can get rid of the stuff that's not serving me today. So there is a small pile of crochet books over there, and I will show you as I go along these steps to make my house more mine, to make it work for me, and so I can work in it. You know, since now that the kids aren't in the house all day long and I've got more time to myself and I can, that's what I want to do. I want to do the crocheting full time. I want to do the YouTube videos full time. I want to put out more than 1 video every couple months. I want to do it once a week, maybe 2 times a week. I'm not sure yet. I'm still working on what kind of schedule I want to do. So just hang in there with me, guys, because we are going to be getting back to the projects. I'm just setting my house up to serve me so I can do what I want to do now. And Bandit's chewing the yarn. Hold on. So all that yarn I just showed you for my yarn haul, I am going to find stock photos from the internet, put them into a spreadsheet, so I will now know what I just bought, the day I bought it, where I bought it at, how much I spent on it, and I'm having a little note section, like if I do have an idea of what I want to do with it, I'll put a note in there so I can at least catalog and inventory that before it gets lost in the mess that is my house. And yeah, I will show you the projects that are sitting on my desk. I worked on a hat, and I think I'm going to have to frog it. I worked on the kitchen towels. I made a blanket. So that'll be a different video, and hopefully that's coming soon. Once I get my desk set up, I will get my patchwork squares out, and we will finally put those patchwork squares together into a blanket, okay? You know how much I love you guys, and I appreciate each and every comment that you guys send to me, and checking in on me and asking how things are going and telling me about yourselves. I mean, I love to hear about you guys. I really do. It makes me feel so not alone in this world, because my world can be kind of tiny sometimes. It's just my husband and my kids. As much as I'm social here, I'm not as social out in public. But, I mean, that doesn't come as a surprise. Most of us are like that, right? So, love you guys, and I will see you soon, okay? Bye.